guys, Susan here. Okay, it's almost summer. I want to show you how to do a vintage gathered elastic tube top, and that's what's next. Okay guys, so we did the lace gown project. It's done. I hope you loved it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to put the link to it in the description box. I want you to see from the very beginning because it is a treasure. I really, it was a journey with me and I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did as well. If you wanted to take classes and learn French draping, please check out my Patreon account. It will be in the description box below, that information. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to kind of teach you something different and a little bit simple that almost anybody could probably handle and do, where you don't even have to go out and buy fabric. So it's kind of cool. But this is a little vintage tee kind of twist. I'm going to be using a regular t-shirt, but I'm also going to show you in a vintage t-shirt another time. But I wanted to do this little gathered elastic tube top, and the reason why I'm saying that is the 70s vibe is coming back, and I love it because that was one of my favorite things back then, was the tube top. And it's easy. You can layer with it. It's great for getting the right kind of tan, because as you can see, I probably need to fix the tan there. So I wanted to kind of show you that I'm going to show you two ways to do the elastic. I bought this one and because I wanted to show you what I was probably going to try to do, and it shows you a professional way to do the elastic. I'm going to show you their way on the top part of this tee, and I'm going to show you my way on the bottom. And that's because if you want to use just a regular home sewing machine, you will be able to do this project. Or if you have a serger or an overlock machine as well, which is also a home sewing machine, you can do this project as well. We're going to start off with a tee. I bought this funny little, tee because I used to play tennis back there in the 70s. That was my thing. We were raised on tennis. So this was kind of funny. And I wanted to show you how I can incorporate the design of this tee and not disturb the design and still get this tube top done. So let me show you that now. But let's talk about the tools you're going to need for this project. Okay, so I recommend either you're going to get a vintage t-shirt or a store-bought t-shirt that I bought here. And if you're a woman, you're going to want to get a man, like if I'm a woman, small or medium, you want to look for like a small men's, because it's boxier, it's square, it's not as fitted, and that will work better for this project. And you're going to need, if you can get it, the hip curve. I'll give you all this information with my Amazon links below in the description box. You're going to need fabric scissors, you're going to need pins, you're going to need your tape measure, you're going to need thread that matches, and you're going to need either pajama elastic or a knit elastic. And of course you're going to need your actual home sewing machine that can do a straight stitch and a zigzag, and or a serger or overlock machine. Okay, let's get started. Let me point out some things that are very important. This was the store-bought one. All right, and I want to show you that this is the top part of the gathered tube top, and this is the bottom part of the gathered tube top. If I put the gathered tube top bottoms together, you will see here that the back is much shorter than the front. That's important because you don't need as much gathers in the back. You need the gathers to go over the bust, of course, and you need less in the back. So that is a very good and very important detail that we want to make sure that we duplicate on this tee. Also, you notice it's quite small. It's quite short. This is made for a younger person, and I want it to be a little bit longer. And it just so happens that my design on my tee is longer, so it's going to accommodate me better. But you want to keep that in mind when you're picking your tee and the design on the actual tee itself. So let's get started. We want to see where the center is of this first. So I'm going to fold the t-shirt first in half, and I'm going to get the indication for the center, which is right here. I'm going to put a pencil mark just like that. So now we know where the center of this tee is on the top. Then you're going to pull your sleeve underarm up straight like that on both sides. Then you're going to take your hip curve like this. I'm going to take it from the center and I'm going to make a higher curve in the center and a lower curve out further from where the armhole is. And I'm going to try to just gently put this hip curve with trying to get all of the design I can on this. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead, and you want to be able to go a little bit higher than the design. So I'm just going to try to go slightly higher to the design. You can only go as far up as where your armhole ends, right? Where the actual armhole on the sleeve ends. So after you get that shape just like that, we're going to draw it out with the pencil, even with the gathers. Just draw it out like that. Okay, on that side. Flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. Now that we have this curved here on the front done, we're going to cut it out through both layers, just like this. All right, that's out. Now we're going to go and flip it over to the back. We know that we want the back to be lower. So I'm going to find the center again. I'm going to take the two pieces, fold it in half, and make an indication for where the center is, just like this. And now you can see that. And now I'm going to take the inside of this curve like this and remove some of that shape. You're then going to take your scissors and you're going to only pick up the back layer, leaving the front layer alone, and you're going to cut that out just like that. All right, that's gone. You can also take it out here as well. So we don't want so much here on the shoulder as well. Once you've determined that you like the shape that it has, then you can be set. The only way that we're going to be able to do this is that we still have this armhole. I know it looks funny. Trust me, it'll be fine. Okay, so then you get your elastic. I'm using 3/4 of an inch elastic. This is lightweight and it stretches beautifully. This is a little bit heavier, but it also is lightweight, so we're going to probably use this one. I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. All right, so the first one we're going to do, if you can see here with the actual design, that it is marrowed, and in the raw edge of it, the elastic is just marrowed right to the raw edge of the fabric. It's not cleaned. It is cleaned by the serger. It's cleaned by the marrow machine itself, and then it's top stitched afterwards. This process, believe it or not, guys, was done all in one. They have machines just to do this in one step. We're going to have to do this in 2 steps, but we're going to actually marrow the elastic to the raw edge, okay? So we're going to take the elastic, and this is the tricky part. You have to measure yourself. Let me show you that. The only way to really do this is to take the actual elastic you're going to use and put it around the part of your body that you are going to be using the elastic, because each elastic is going to perform differently. I'm going to put it around here. I'm going to stretch it nicely so I know that it's going to be firm on me. And after I have that measurement, you want to overlap about 1/2 inch. Once you have that, then you can take it and you can go ahead and cut it like that. Now let's get it on the bottom. The first step is to sew the elastic together. So you want to overlap it about 1/2 inch like that. Put it underneath your presser foot. Put a small zigzag stitch on your machine and go ahead and stitch these 2 elastics together with a zigzag stitch up and down a couple times, just like that. Okay, we have the elastic sewn together. All right, so now we have to prepare the t-shirt to make sure it fits the elastic, okay, because this is quite small and this is a lot to stretch. Remember that armhole that we have here? Remember that sleeve that we took here? We have to get rid of that excess. We're going to have to take some of that stuff out so that we can make this straighter on top. and so the elastic will be able to go on easier. So we're going to go ahead and fold in that excess that's on the armhole, the bottom part of that sleeve, like this, till we get it straight up and down. We're going to do that on both sides, just like that. Once we have it straight, as much as we can, we're going to take it on the inside like this, and we are going to marrow that excess out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin that, and we're going to get rid of all that extra fabric that we don't need. So we're going to do that on the marrow machine. Now that we have that lip, that excess out, we took it out by, by folding it, sewing it, and taking that excess out. Now it's almost straight. It's almost perfectly straight here all the way up, so we have that nice straight edge. We then have to mark the center of the front. So I'm going to fold where the armhole starts, put a pencil mark, which I have here. You also want to get the center of the back by folding from armhole to armhole in half and get that center. You then take your elastic and you're going to be folding it in half. Get that marking. Then you want to take the elastic and fold it one more time and get the quarter, so you have a marking there as well as there. Should put this way, it's a little bit straighter. Now we're going to go on the inside, and we're going to start in the back. I'm going to use where I attached it in the back like that. This is the inside of the garment or the t-shirt, and I'm going to go and give a lip of about 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to go ahead and pin that downward like that with the elastic. I'm going to stretch it to that seam that we did here, which would be the side seam. Then I'm going to go to the front and put that marking that's here with the center front. And then lastly, the side seam on the other side where the armhole is to that last marking, just like that. Okay, here we are. This is the moment of truth. I'm starting from the back where we join the elastic. That first pin, you've got it underneath the serger or marrow machine, and I'm going to go ahead and put the foot right up to it. There is a blade on this serger, so you have to make sure you don't go too far and cut your elastic. That's the tricky part. And then you just start with it, and as you do it, you're going to be stretching as much as the elastic will take, looking to make sure that you do not cut your elastic as you're doing this. So you're just going to pull the elastic as much as you can pull it, have a little bit of excess, and go there all the way around. Just continue to pull it like that. All right. Now we're here at the end. You have to make sure you pull it as much as you can. And we have that portion done. Now, starting from the back, again, I'm going to take the elastic and I'm going to end the fabric, and I'm going to turn it one more lap down, and I'm going to stitch it with my straight stitch machine on the bottom as I'm stretching it. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put the fold like that, and I'm just going to stretch the whole thing as I'm stitching it. Fold it nice and tight and stretch it. You can. Right there. Do a tiny back stitch, and you are done. There it is. It's top stitched on the outside. It's marrowed in the inside, and it is lower in the back like we want it to be. Now we got to do the bottom. And I'm just going to work with the design itself, okay guys? And I'm just going to lay it flat. I'm going to put this straight ruler here. This is where I'm going to need my tape measure. And I want to make sure that I have the same amount on this side. So I'm going to put a marking here. I'm going to go down 13 inches on this side as well and put a marking here. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my straight ruler, any ruler will do, and then make a straight line just like that. Let's cut it across. There we go. Now we're going to take the remainder of the elastic we have here, measure around your waist. Make sure it's going to be enough for the waist like that. Okay, we're going to do it so you don't need a serger on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I also did the elastic. I folded it in half, marked it, folded it in quarters, marked it. I folded the bottom part of this in half, got the center of the front and center of the back, and these are the side seams. The trick about this is we're not going to be going in the back. We're actually going to be going in the front this time. So we're going to actually put the elastic butt up against the edge just like that on the right side of the garment. On the side seam, put a pin, and we're going to put it butt up against. We're not going to make it excess. I'm going to put that marking here as well in the back. And the same thing on the last part of that other side seam, just like that. Now let's get to the machine. Here I am at the home sewing machine. I'm going to put it on a small zigzag. I'm putting it on 3 and 3. I'm going to start from the back again, because if there's any adjustments, it won't show as badly in the back, hopefully. And I'm going to just take the pieces together like that. Take the first pin out. Go ahead and give it a 1/4 inch extension as well. We're going to put it together like that. You want to back stitch a little bit. You're going to be stretching the elastic again to fit that portion. So you have to stretch the elastic a lot. Just like that. And then just do a zigzag. Stretch it well. Now we're at the end, stretching that both in the front and the back. Keep it nice and straight. Do a little back stitch, and that part is done. Just like that. Now, all we're going to do is take this and turn it back one time. Put it on a straight stitch like that. You've got a little bit of a lip going on there. Stretch it as well. Okay. I'm stretching both the back and the front and doing my top stitch. Turning that excess back as much as I can. Keep it nice and flat and stretch it. Keep it nice and flat and stretch it. We're here at the end. Do a small back stitch. And we are done. Okay, there it is, guys. A little DIY gathered, cropped little tube top. And it's like the one we got. The good thing about this one here on the bottom is that you've got this nice little rolled edge that's cleaned. You have the exposed elastic here. You want to use a lightweight elastic. If that bothers your skin, you can always do one more lap like that if you'd like. Just make sure that you cut further down in order to do that so you don't destroy your design. There it is, the cute little tube top. It's great with shorts, pants, and it's kind of fun and flirty, and it's great for summer. I hope you enjoyed this. If you loved it, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments when you make one for yourself, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.